Hi everyone, this is Craftcore. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make Christmas stockings. And I know, it's January 13th today. Christmas was 19 days ago. But instead of being late, I'm going to say that I'm 347 days early for next season. By posting this video in January, I'm giving you lots of time to prepare for the next holiday season, and this will give you a chance to use all those great holiday Christmas fabrics. In this video, I'll be teaching you how to make a lined Christmas stocking. You won't need to purchase a pattern to follow this tutorial. I'm assuming that you already know basic sewing techniques for this video, but it is beginner friendly. This is a basic stocking tutorial that you can modify to suit your needs. I personally like a slightly chubby stocking, while some people may prefer a skinnier or pointier stocking. I'll walk you through the process for 3 different options. Option 1, you can replicate a stocking shape of a stocking that you already own. Option 2, you can draw your own stocking shape, and I'll tell you how to make that into a pattern template. Or option 3, you can download and print my free pattern pieces from my blog, Craftcore. I'll leave the link in the description for you. Probably should have showed you what the stocking looked like. So here's some samples of what the stockings will look like. Let's get started. So here are the supplies that you'll need for this project. You'll need a sewing machine and the basic notions that go with it, like thread, pins, clips, the basics. You'll need your main fabric, which is a non-stretch fabric for the main stocking and the hanger loop. You'll need a lining fabric, which can be the same material or you can use an alternate one. You'll need a contrast fabric, a non-stretch fabric for the cuff. You'll need iron-on fusible fleece, and you'll need paper for the pattern piece templates. The amount of fabric that you need will depend on how big of a stocking you want to make. If you're printing my Craftcore stocking pattern, you'll need this much fabric. For option 1 and 2, let's make your pattern piece templates first. If you already have a stocking that you like on hand that you want to copy, you can simply trace it onto a big piece of paper to create a pattern, then add 1/4 inch around the outside for your seam allowance. If you have a stocking shape in your mind, take a big piece of paper and draw it out, then add 1/4 inch to all sides for your seam allowance. I'm going to call this piece the main sock template. You'll need to make 2 additional templates, the cuff template and the loop template. For the cuff, decide how tall you want your cuff to be, then measure the width of your main sock pattern that you already drew. You'll need to cut out a papered rectangle that is double the desired height plus 1/2 inch tall, and double the desired width plus 1/2 inch wide. For the loop, cut out a paper rectangle that measures 4 inches wide by 5 1/4 inches long. For option 3, I've gone ahead and cleaned up and transformed my ugly newsprint template that I drew into a free digital pattern that you can download and print. So go ahead and download the PDF from my blog Craftcore, print it out, and tape the templates together as indicated. Make sure that you print it at 100% scale. Again, I have the download link in the description below. Let's cut the fabric. For each stocking you want to make, you'll need to cut out 4 of the main sock pattern piece, 2 of them being right side up and 2 being wrong side up, if you're using the same fabric for your main fabric and your lining fabric. I use the same fabric for my lining and exterior fabric, but if you want the lining to be different, you need to cut 1 right side up and 1 wrong side up from each of the main fabric and the lining fabric. You'll also need to cut out 1 cuff pattern piece and 1 loop pattern piece. Finally, cut out a piece of fusible fleece from the main sock pattern piece. Let's prepare the main sock fabric first. First, fuse the fusible fleece to one of the main sock pieces. Layer the fusible fleece with the sticky side up and the main sock piece right side up. Follow the exact instructions for your brand of fusible fleece, but generally you'll be pressing with your iron to apply heat to activate the glue. Put a scrap piece of fabric over your work so that in the event that the sock piece isn't cut exactly the same as your fusible fleece, you won't get the glue on your iron, which is super annoying to clean off. Once the fusible fleece is securely in place, take your second main sock piece and layer it right sides together with your fused sock piece. Use pins or clips to hold them in place. Take your 2 lining sock pieces and layer those right sides together, and use pins or clips to hold those in place. On the exterior sock, we'll be sewing along all edges with 1/4 inch seam allowance, except for the top of the sock, which will remain open. For the lining main sock, we'll be leaving the top open, plus we'll be leaving an additional gap at the foot of the sock that will allow us to turn the sock inside out later. Leave about a 4 or 5 inch gap. Time to sew. Once your seams are sewn, flip your main exterior stocking right side out. You'll feel and see that with the fusible fleece, the stocking has a bit of body and stiffness to it. For now, leave the lining fabric version of your stocking wrong side out. Now let's prepare the loop fabric. I'm not a big fan of turning thin strips of fabric inside out, so I'm going to show you my favorite way of making loops that we'll use to hang our stocking. Take your loop fabric and fold it in half lengthwise, wrong sides together. Finger press this to make a faint crease. Then, fold the raw edges of the fabric to meet with the crease. Finger press it again. Fold it one more time so that the raw edges are totally encased on the inside. When you look at your fabric from the side, you'll see 2 folds along one edge and 1 fold along the other. Press the fabric with your iron, then pin or clip the fabric into place, so a seam close to the edge to hold everything in place on both sides. Easy peasy. Now let's prepare the cuff fabric. If you want to embroider a name or embellish the cuff in some other way, now is a great time to do it before it's stitched inside your stocking. Since the cuff is self-lined, you'll want to embellish the top left quadrant as seen here. You can see that I use my embroidery machine to sew on a name, but you could hand stitch, you could do some applique, you could do some iron-on designs. The only limit is your imagination, really. Fold the cuff lengthwise, first with your embellishment on the outside, and press with your iron. Next, fold the cuff in half widthwise, with your embellishments on the inside. Bring the cuff to your sewing machine and sew a 1/4 inch seam along this short edge. You can leave the long edge raw. You can now flip this right side out so your embellishment will be on the front of the cuff. Let's assemble all these components. Now that your main sock exterior and lining, loop, and cuff are prepared, it's time to attach it all together. Start with your exterior main sock on your work surface. Slip your cuff in place around the exterior main sock. Fold the loop in half so that the raw edges are together. Pin or clip the loop in place at the back left of the stocking, near the seam but not directly on top of it. The raw edges should be lined up with the hole of the stocking, and the folded edge should be pointing down toward the toe of the stocking. Finally, take your lining fabric, which should be wrong side out still, and slip it over all the other pieces. Line up all your raw edges along the top hole of the stocking. You can use the turning hole that's in the lining to help make sure all your pieces are lying flat if you like. When looking at all your layers from a bird's eye view, you should see it layered like this. Carefully pin or clip all the layers into place. Make sure that you don't pin your hole closed by accident. Sew all the way around the top raw edges of your stocking. If your sewing machine has a removable arm, take it off the machine to make it easier to sew in the round. I start and stop on the loop pull and reverse stitch along the entire edge of the loop for extra stability. Now it's time to flip the stocking. This is so satisfying. We left a hole in the foot of the lining, and you can pull the entire stocking through the hole to reverse all your layers. Then all you have to do is sew the hole closed. You can hand stitch to close it with an invisible stitch, but I'm lazy, and since it's on the inside, I just sew close to the edge and stitch it close. Before you close everything up though, make sure that everything came out as you would expect, especially the hanging loop. Ta-da! You have a stocking. As always, I want to thank you for watching this video. I hope that it was helpful for you. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more crafty videos, and I always appreciate any thumbs up or comments that you can leave on this video.